Okay, is this thing on? As usual, I got this going at exactly the last second. Greetings. And my Discord is muted. It happens. Let's see. What am I am as usual. I started doing this at exactly the last second. What's going on with this live stream thing?
Hang out in the chat and then probably record it, because I don't know if you saw it last time I tried live streaming on YouTube. It just like kept cutting out and it became a huge hassle, so I gave up on that. I don't know if you
I actually don't remember, but that doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah, my internet here is not good, so I'm just going to record it and maybe make a time-lapse video out of it or something, but that's that. Yeah, it was for the Minecraft challenge where I tried to make Minecraft in 24 hours.
Oh, that was the one that I didn't do.
Yeah, I did a live stream for that, and yeah, it worked for like the first hour, and then it just kept cutting out.
Let's see. I should probably open a new GameMaker project here.
Yeah,
I told you I
spent the last half hour just kind of freaking out because I didn't have any plans for anything, but I think I got something that I want to do now.
I think I said I was gonna like make sure that I was all set up like a half hour before the hour, and then I got started like 30 seconds before the hour.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Are we officially starting, or
Yeah,
I guess
I'm gonna get.
there's no official like starting bell or anything.
I guess, yeah, we're kind of the only ones. I guess I'll say something in case anyone else wants to, but I think we're the only ones doing it.
Okay, maze
So
game.
the theme is maze.
The theme is maze. Oh wait, I should
Yeah.
probably set this stream title to something that's actually like relevant. I totally didn't just copy and paste all of the like the stream metadata from the last time I was live streaming.
That's what you got to do. All right, so let's start off with a shader.
I was going to say let's get started with a room in GameMaker, but I guess a shader works as well.
Yeah, I mean, GameMaker already kind of gives you a room, so I don't like need to create one. I just kind of shader first. Yeah.
I actually got started by deleting all the default folders.
That's a good way to start.
What I generally do is just create like a blank tile layer, get a 3D projection looking at it, and go from there.
I decided to be super original and do all of my 3D rendering in a shader again. So
Wow, you've never done that before.
Oh, it's so much more fun though. Like, I'm gonna do voxel rendering this time if I can.
You have created how many voxel renderers at this point?
Oh, geez.
A lot.
Yeah, probably
a large
like
number.
30 or 40. I'm gonna steal some of the code from my shader toy examples just to save time. I'm really bummed out that Snitter couldn't come this time.
Yeah.
That would have been
maybe
nice.
next time.
Yeah. Our first 3-hour jam. The next one's gonna have to be 4 hours in 4 dimensions or something.
I've always wanted to make a Super Paper Mario fan game.
That would be pretty fun. Alright, so I have a maze object. Let's give it a few basic parameters. X, Y, and Z. So, what's your plan?
I'll let you know if I come up with one.
Alright, fair enough.
How do you do 3D in GameMaker again? Do I need to make the camera render first, don't I?
Yeah, usually you want to like set the matrices first. I don't
You think
necessarily.
I would
You
know
don't
these things,
have
and
to
yet
use.
here we are.
Sorry, what's that?
You think I would know these things, and yet here we are.
Yeah, yeah. I've done it so many times, and yet I can get a bit rusty. With the Minecraft jam, I had to do a warm up first, just to make sure I remembered how it worked.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I was actually really surprised at what I was able to do in 30 minutes because I tried to do like a 30-minute version, and I was able to draw a bunch of blocks. It was horribly inefficient, but it looked all right. So
24 hours, what can you do?
yeah,
Alright, I have a 3D projection rendering. That's basically the same thing as a game.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, usually my routine is basically just start with shaders, try to make it look cool, and then like figure out gameplay later, maybe if I have time.
I think your plan is usually start with shaders, continue with shaders, and finish with shaders.
Yeah, exactly. Just shaders, and then we'll see
Shaders all the way down. I don't remember if we banned outside tools or anything like that. I'm just gonna go and create myself a nice block and some
Yeah,
modeling tool and use
I
that
don't
because I
care.
don't feel like generating it through code.
Yeah, I don't care what you use really. I think if we just kind of make the bulk of the game in 3 hours, that's fine.
In the 1 hour version, I basically spent like 45 minutes setting up a camera and like 15 minutes getting something resembling gameplay
Yeah,
or something like that. That was like a year ago now.
yeah, I really like doing these every now and then. It's fun.
Is it going to be efficient to draw a block for a vertex buffer with every just like tile that I want to draw? Probably not. Am I going to do it anyway? Probably.
At least you're honest about it.
Am I going to try and make this thing run on a Raspberry Pi? Probably not.
Why not?
Maybe later.
voxels? That's the question. We do not. No matter how long you write shaders, you still get compile errors like half the time when you start compiling.
It would be nice if GameMaker actually had syntax checking in the shader editor.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna post some progress pictures in the voice channel. So
If I
first things
remember, I'll do
first,
that too.
I just stole my voxel shader.
You just plagiarized your own code.
Yeah, it's okay because it's mine, so I have the right.
You probably won't sue yourself.
Yeah.
Issue a DMCA on yourself or whatever. That would be awkward.
Yeah, it would. New position.
How do you use the GameMaker room editor? Oh right, I have to like drag objects from the asset browser into it. That shows you how often I use this thing.
Yeah, I pretty much always just like put my control object in and then just do everything in that one object. And it's not really a good practice, but that's how I like to do it. Especially for game jams, just throw it together like.
Yeah, especially for game jams. I used to be really big on just avoiding the room editor, and then the longer I do that, the more it feels like that's just slows you down instead of helping. Because it turns out that the room editor is one of those things that GameMaker is good at doing for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably...
And as much fun as writing a 3D level editor is, it's probably not a optimal use of time during a game jam.
No.
Is there a way to, like, paint multiple objects in the room editor?
Yeah, but
like
I can't
you hold down
remember
Shift or something and you can just...
Yeah, it's something... Alt, maybe? Oh yeah, it's Alt. Pretty sure they just kept changing it.
Oh yeah, Alt, okay. That helps.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. Snitter's wishing us luck. That's good. We're about to go through 3 hours of pain. I don't know why I put myself through these things.
Were you part of the conversation in the main GameMaker Discord where we established that like pain is just like the normal state of being for people who do 3D things in GameMaker?
Yeah, well, I
this
didn't
block
hear
is
that,
half size. I can either scale the block up or I can just like scale the grid down. I think it would be less pain for me to scale the block up.
Yeah, that's the thing about GameMaker 3D people. It's like they don't want to use any other engines. They really do like making everything themselves. I fall in that category myself, obviously.
Using an engine that would make our lives easier?
Yeah, what the
What
heck?
is this, Unity?
Yeah, I don't really know why, but I like it this way.
I enjoy all the people who show up in my YouTube comments saying, "Why are you doing this instead of using Unity?" And it's like you think, "Boy, I've never thought about that before." Thank you, random
Hmm.
YouTube commenter.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to like joke around about Unity and pretend that it's a horrible engine, but honestly, it really is mostly just about like whatever tool you want to work with, you can use. There's no right answer. There's no like you have to do this and you can't do that. It's chill. Kind of get annoyed when people act like there's a huge difference between engines and stuff. I mean, there are differences between um, what engine you should use for what kind of game, but um, a lot of that comes down to what are you willing to put up with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're willing to spend a long time making your game, but to have full control over all the design choices and stuff, then I think you should be able to do that. Um, that's totally cool with me.
Unity does a lot of things, but I spend a lot of time trying to make it stop doing things
Yeah.
because it makes a lot doesn't make a lot of assumptions about what you want to do with your game, but it makes a few like no, Unity, I want to be able to set the camera matrices myself because I am insane. Please stop trying to do that for me.
Yeah, that was the thing about Unity is I wanted more direct control with it. That's how I like to use it, and it's kind of insane, but that's how.
I've tried tried to just set up like an empty OpenGL loop and start from there, but that is beyond what I'm interested in doing. That is a little much. I like having GameMaker set that up for you, but put pretty much nothing in it.
Hmm.
How do you make a player walk around in 3D? I don't remember these things. I've only done this like 50 times.
Man, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, usually for that, I just like
Actually, you
treat
know
it
what?
as
I
a.
can totally just plagiarize my own code too.
Yeah, there you go. I love to like act like a 3D game is just a 2D game and just not worry about the Z axis. That's also fun.
That's how I like to do collisions. I'll make the
Yeah,
game visually behave on 3 axes, but I'll just have it 2D for the purposes of collisions.
yeah. Collisions are like really hard if you want to get it all right. So that's one of those things that I'm totally okay with. Just kind of.
Collisions in 3D are very easy to do badly.
Yeah. All right. Why is this not working?
I guess collisions in general are easy to do badly. It's really easy to make a game where you just sort of like it usually works, but sometimes you get stuck in a wall and you just try to pretend that it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Like yeah. If it does work and then you find some bug later, you just pretend that it's not there because we don't want to rewrite the entire system. If it works 90% of the time, that's close enough.
It works 90% of the time, 50% of the time.
Right. I love a lot of like 3D 3D math and stuff, like the math for physics and all that. But at the same time, I still, 3D physics is where I draw the line. That's not something that I want to try to program on my own in GameMaker. The
I
most I've
really
ever
want
done,
to eventually. That time is
yeah,
just not now.
yeah. The most I've ever done is like sphere to sphere collisions because that's basically the simplest case. You don't have to worry about angular momentum very much, unless you're texturing it, which then you still do, and then that becomes a lot harder. But for the most part, I just ignore the angular momentum and just have them collide with each other, and that's easy enough to do. But I don't even want to try messing with like cubes or something. Having actual physics, like you can do the bounding boxes, and that's one thing, but like physics is really complicated.
Overlap tests between basic shapes were not as bad as I expected them to be. Like bounding boxes are obviously not complicated. You just have to check
Yeah.
all axes and make sure that none of them are accidentally reversed or anything. Why
Yeah,
is like... Oh, wait. I was using
one thing
direction
that
for
really
camera
helps
pitch. That's not smart.
One thing that really helps is working with SDFs,
Sign
like the
distance
shader
fields.
toys. That really will get you a good overview on. Sorry, I can't code and talk at the same time.
I know. I've copied and pasted my own code like 3 times and gotten it wrong because I don't know what I'm looking at.
Okay, so we have a 3D maze thing. I mean, it's not at all a maze and whatever, but somewhat promising. What was I saying? I don't remember.
Okay, I can walk around. That is a good step 1. We are 20 minutes into the 3 hours, more or less. Okay, I should probably have like a light in here so that I actually know what I'm looking at and it's not just a bunch of flatly shaded orange things.
Yeah, that's always nice, is to be able to see what you're doing.
If I was not in a hurry, I would add like a little bit of inertia to movement so you don't just start and stop suddenly, but I feel like I could probably spend my last 2 hours, 40 minutes doing something a little bit more useful.
We have a cool looking tunnel. I really don't know why there's a tunnel, but we have one.
Wasn't that your last 3D Jam game also? Or the first one
Yeah, it
rather?
was a tunnel. Yeah, this one's not supposed to be. Like, I want it so you can actually like turn and stuff, but we'll see. 3 hours is not a lot of time.
Well, it's 3 times as long as 1 hour, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I should be able to do 3 times as much content as my 1 hour jam. I don't know. I don't think it scales like that, though.
How does it go? Work expands to fill the available time or something?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. Alright. do not understand what's wrong with the camera.
Relatable.
I think I'm stuck inside the wall somehow.
That's tradition.
Yeah. Yeah, collisions, like, that's one of the worst things when you're doing what I'm doing and, like, making everything on the shader. There's not really any easy way to get collisions out of that.
Do you at least, are you at least having GameMaker objects, like, run their own collision checks?
Yeah. I am using a map texture, which will define, like, where all the walls will be. So technically, I could just read off of that. That might be what I'll end up doing. But I haven't gotten that far yet.
I like how about 50% of the time when I write a shader and then I run the game and then it doesn't seem to do anything, the answer is, like, because I forgot to set the shader in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, of all the problems you could have, like, that's not horrible. At least it's an easy fix. So you're making a video on shadow mapping?
Soon, hopefully.
That's neat.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's really satisfying when you get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
When it doesn't work, it's not necessarily very fun.
When I was messing with normal mapping a while ago, it was like, okay, that was a lot of work, and the end result is that it's slightly more accurate than it was with just flat shading or regular vertex normals. But shadow mapping looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to try to explain what I just did, but it was very dumb, believe me.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how this happened, but it looks like I suddenly have reversed the culling direction, but I have not written any code whatsoever to deal with culling. I'm not sure how I did that.
Yeah, that's weird. Unless you, like, reverse the order that you're reading the triangles or something. I don't know.
It's probably going to remain a mystery for the rest of this event, and then in like a week I'm going to look at my code and say, did I really do that?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's probably not actually the culling. It's probably more to do with the depth buffer not being turned on, which is another one of those things that I forget to do every time until I realize it's not working.
That would explain it, yeah.
Because when you forget to do that, sometimes you do get triangles like drawn backwards, like on top of each other, and yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah. I'm gonna make my first GIF of the progress, and we'll see how it looks.
Someone in the YouTube chat just said 3 hour jam sounds like it will be a lot of, in quotation marks, fun. I agree,
Yeah,
which is why we're doing this.
we're doing it because we're crazy. That's what.
What do you do at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning?
Yeah. Right.
Um, Alright, I guess
I
the,
don't
the
know
next
why.
logical thing for me to do would be to make the player actually collide with walls and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
I
I don't know why,
guess.
but this always sounds like a good idea. Like I always want to do a game jam, and then when it comes to actually doing it, like half the time I want to do it, and half the time I don't. Like right now, I actually do want to do a game jam, but sometimes I like start it, and I'm like, man, I don't even want. I don't even want to try it.
For me, it was like I want to do a game jam, but I don't really feel like getting out of bed. But I'm gonna have to if I
Yeah,
want to do a game jam.
yeah, yeah. I probably wouldn't have done it at 10 a.m. If it wasn't for Snitter. I kind of thought that that would work better for him. But, whatever. It's
Didn't
what
the,
it
wasn't
is.
the first one at like 6 a.m. Eastern? Because that
Mm-hmm.
was I think he was available at like 2 in the afternoon Central European
Yeah, I
time.
set an alarm. I remember I set an alarm and I woke up and you guys had already started and it was like half an hour in or something. And
Oh really? Did you
I was
you
like,
missed your own game jam?
well, I think it was one of the ones that you guys were doing and I was just going to join it.
Oh,
And just like looked at what you guys did and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to join this one. And so I just went back to bed.
was that one of the ones that you did like later on your own?
It might have been.
I think there was one that you sort of just did your own hour long thing at a later time. I think Luna also
Yeah, right.
um I think Luna might have done it like a half a day before because Russia time is
Yeah.
offset by like half a day. Russia's weird. That country has like 11 time zones.
Jeez. I mean, it spans like half of the world basically, so I guess that makes sense.
If you're on like the Moscow side, it's reasonable. If
Yeah,
you're on the Japan side, it's like
it's totally off from everything.
um how do I circular collision mask per player? That's reasonable, right? Probably. Who cares?
All right, we're half an hour in, and I finally finished the rendering. Well, I mean, it's rainbow, so it obviously still needs work, but um, it's rendering a scene, and I have camera movement, so that's a good sign. The camera just follows the mouse. I should probably make it so you can actually like walk around.
Okay, cool. I am no longer falling through the walls, but I am now like, if I touch a wall, I can only move backwards because I did these collision checks as cheaply as possible, which is kind of what I had in mind when I said something earlier about it's very easy to do collision badly.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do and just pass in a regular view matrix and do the camera like I would a normal camera. Because
You know
usually
how to
I
do that?
was sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, I mean, like half the time I'll just learn. So I might be a little bit rusty, but I'll figure it out.
So did I tell you that I was messing around with partial derivatives recently, and I realized that it seems like they don't actually work on OpenGL platforms of GameMaker, and I wasn't able to figure out why.
Really?
It seems like that it just refused to compile, and it didn't really say why, besides extension not supported, at least on Linux. And I've been told that
Okay.
it's a similar deal on Apple devices, although I do not have an Apple device, so I can't check. I didn't try an HTML5. Maybe it works in
Yeah.
HTML5.
Yeah, I pretty much only have tested it on Windows, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
not really sure. Um, yeah, that sounds kind of weird. I think Juju said that it didn't work on an Apple TV, but I thought that was the only one that he mentioned.
Mm-hmm. I figured, like, okay, Apple TV, what do you expect? But
Yeah,
I was
I wouldn't have
hoping that
expected.
I was hoping that it would work at least on Linux. I think he said it was something, or you said, or someone said it was like there's just like a bug in GameMaker shader compiler, and it's not really that it doesn't work. Okay, so I no longer get stuck on the wall. I just now get stuck completely. That's perfect.
He just can't move anywhere.
It worked for like a second, and then it just stopped working. Someone has given me a suggestion in the YouTube chat. Let's see if I'm smart enough to understand this. That gizmo, that looks a lot like math. You have to understand, I woke up an hour ago.
Oh, Gizmo's in here.
Yeah.
Hi. I wish I could stream on my own, but not yet. One of these days.
Oh, you know what? I copied and pasted the wrong value again. That probably doesn't make anything better. Okay,
All
I think
right, I'm
that's good
actually.
enough for a 3 hour game jam. I think I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, yeah, that seems reasonable. I'm actually using Y is up,
Oh, really?
which I never do.
I'm using Z as a, not so much because I always do, although that's a big reason, but because I'm using the GameMaker room editor to draw a maze using blocks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what I always do, and then this time I just didn't because that's how my voxel shader was set up,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to bother like refiguring it out. So I'm gonna have to work with that.
Okay, this is, for something as simple as this is, to my awake for 1 hour brain, this is weirdly satisfying.
Uh,
Maybe it's just because I don't actually make that many first person games, and it's just fun when I do, but okay.
um, I Are you streaming like on YouTube or something?
Mm-hmm. I guess for the benefit of YouTube, I will show the, oh my god, what on earth is that? Psychedelic dungeon.
Yeah, ignore the colors is actually really cool because it's using a voxel ray tracer to do like the walls and stuff, and I can just draw it on a sprite, whatever shape I want it to be. So we have to hand make the mazes, but I figure that's better than trying to generate them somehow.
People think I'm crazy for doing this. You're just doing ray tracing casually.
Yeah, I'm too far gone.
Okay, so now the question remains, what do I do to actually make this fun? I mean, I could always just make
Don't
a
ask
walking
me.
simulator, which would be probably, I'm sure, a nice relaxing thing to do with my Saturday morning, but
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be the right person to tell you, really. I
Glenn
don't have.
Saratelli has appeared in the YouTube chat. Hello, I haven't seen you in a while. Are you still using GameMaker? Mr. Saratelli is still using GameMaker. Cool. Mark
Awesome.
Overmars has
The
a really
more the
good maze
merrier.
tutorial if I need any ideas. Where's the fun in that? I mean, if I was smart, I would probably look at it because I have 2 hours, 19 minutes remaining, but
What's the fun in that, you know?
if things aren't just like a little bit on fire, I'm not interested.
Right. I'm gonna try to find your stream just so I can join the chat.
I guess I can always post the URL. Do I remember how to do that? Oh right,
I
there's a
don't know.
copy link button.
Okay, here. Alright, I'm gonna give it a like as well.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of you.
Support the grind. Alright. Why is this not?
I guess if I really want to make this fun, I could like implement a locked door or something, and you have to find the key to progress or something of that nature. That could be fun.
Hmm. Oh wow, you already have like a level designed and stuff?
I mean, if you want to call it that.
That's pretty neat. That's more than I have.
This is what it looks like so far. Is there a goal?
Alright.
No. Is there anything to differentiate anything in the world? No. Should there
Wow,
be? Maybe.
that's pretty legit though. That's nice. So are you using like a block model?
Yeah, I just created a block, 6 sides, 12 triangles, turned it into a vertex buffer, and like I said, that's gonna absolutely murder performance. But
Alright. Well,
I can cross
for
that bridge
this
when
scope,
I can
it'll
cross that
probably
bridge
be
when I get to it. When the
yeah.
game falls to like sub 100 FPS real, I'll start to be concerned.
And you'll have like 10 minutes left on the
Mm.
gen. I mean, honestly, for this kind of game, that'd probably be fine. If you wanted to get real fancy, you could probably scale the blocks and have it so that you can have like long blocks that will be one wall
Oh,
segment.
you know what? I can do that because this is the GameMaker room editor, and you're allowed to just do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that would make it easy and fast, but that's up to you.
If I texture them, that'll look weird, and maybe I wouldn't want to do that. But again, I can cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah, so a hornet stung my left pinky yesterday, or a couple days ago, and so now my whole hand is swollen. Makes coding a little bit less fun.
Especially when you're coding at this speed.
Yeah. Well, at least it was my pinky because I don't type properly, and I mostly just use my index finger. I type like an old man, so
Oh, really? You like
kind of.
what do they call that?
I
Like
mean,
chicken picking typing or something?
yeah, I use a few fingers, but I don't really use my pinky for pretty much anything. I don't know why. I just never learned the proper way.
I use my thumbs a lot. Which is probably why it's always so loud when I type, even though this isn't the heaviest keyboard, because I hit the keys very hard with my thumbs. You know what I might get a kick out of is like if I put signs like this way to the exit at various points in the maze, but they're all like lies. I don't think that
Yeah,
would be do much for like gameplay, but I would get a kick out of it.
yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I was thinking about having like a monster chase you down through the maze or something, but
Hmm.
I'm not that good at drawing, and that would be hard to incorporate into a shader somehow. So I think I'm just gonna have like a creepy fog that like chases you,
I think
and you can't fog.
who was it? I think Elf suggested like have like the maze get walled off behind you as you walk, and if you don't move fast enough, it like absorbs you and you die or something like that.
Oh, that'd be neat. Yeah.
Okay, realistically, I'm not actually going to texture these walls, so I'm just gonna do what you said and stretch them out so that there's not a
Yeah.
million of them.
You could always texture them in the shader if you wanted.
I could. I'm sure I can do. I'm sure doing math to like correctly UV each of the fragments when they're stretched in funny ways wouldn't be too difficult, but
Yeah.
realistically, I'm not going to have time to do that
Yeah, that's fair.
within the next hour and whatever.
Yeah, the truth is, I should like start working on gameplay as soon as possible. Other like if I'm making a serious game,
Hmm.
because otherwise I'll just get caught up on like um, doing the graphics the whole time, which is a lot of fun, but it doesn't make a game.
Next time we
Uh,
should tag team so you get to do the graphics and someone else gets to do the gameplay.
that like I would actually love that. That would be fun. It might be a little bit difficult to make it compatible and stuff, but because a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff that is like in it's nobody can do it because it's like kind of dumb to do it that
Hmm.
way, and it requires like doing everything a certain way.
You mean the like the voxel renderer? Like you
Yeah, I
can't just
mean,
say
yeah,
draw a
like
thing here. You have to set it up to do that. To
yeah,
you have
you
to hard
can't
code it
use like
in.
normal depth testing, and it's hard to get like the map, the collisions and stuff. Like it's not like you're working with a vertex buffer where you have all the data in
Yeah,
the
you can't
GML.
just say draw this object at position, world matrix,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So like it works for me, but it's harder to work with other people on. I
You
mean, I
did
could probably.
three mice in a trench coat for one of the GameMaker jams,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah,
How
yeah.
did
That was a
you
lot.
how did you organize the project there? Because I know you were working with a couple people. Was that using
Um.
SMF for visuals?
Yeah, we use that for the models and stuff, and then I was doing the graphics programming.
Mm-hmm.
Bart was doing all of the modeling, texturing, things like that, and then Snyder did a lot of the animations and then the main project code.
Mm-hmm.
But as it went on, it just kind of went to chaos. As
Well, that's par for the course as far as game jams are
Yeah.
concerned.
So yeah, at the end there, I think I was staying up 18 hours a day,
Oh
like
my
just
god.
freaking trying to hack everything in. I probably shouldn't have spent that much time on it, but it was kind of fun.
So I have encountered a small problem with stretching out the objects in the room editor, and that is that I need to actually make them stretch that way using 3D transforms.
Oh right, yeah.
A,
I mean, I don't
a
think that'd be too
small
hard. Like you could
oversight. It
still use
shouldn't
it.
be since I've centered the sprites in the same corner
Yeah,
as the vertex buffers, so I should just be able to say what even is it? Is it like image x scale?
yeah.
I swear I know how to use GameMaker, guys. Okay, that's better.
He's a fraud.
All of my 3D videos were useful on accident.
Or what?
All of my videos are just useful by accident.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just random chance. You You just like clicking random buttons, and sometimes it works. Alright, what is going on? Wow, we got 10 viewers. Not bad.
I feel like I should probably like add a point light, flashlight, or something for the player, just so that it's easier to like orient yourself in space.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that as well. I kind of wanted to make like a horror game. I thought that'd be fun, but
Are you still going to do that like liminal space thing that you were talking about yesterday?
we'll see. That was like the plan that I wanted to do, but I am not entirely sure if I will have the time. Or
How
like
do you do
empowering our...
point lights? Point lights are just like directional lights that have many directions, right?
Yes.
That's a word
Yep.
that makes sense
Those are
in my head.
easy. Yeah.
Uniform
You just get
vectory.
the difference between the position of the light and the vertex position, and then you can use that as a direction to compare to the normal.
And then if you're feeling adventurous, you can also give it a range and have it attenuate.
Yeah, right.
Which is generally a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
If this was not a 3-hour game jam, I would make it a spotlight to make it actually look like a flashlight, but I don't remember that off the top of my head, and I do not feel like plagiarizing any more of my own code.
Fair enough. I'm getting a solid colored screen of just rainbow colors. So
I feel like that's just your game's art direction, period.
I might have to just go with it and just accept it at this point. I don't understand why the camera is just moving on its own. Like, I'm not doing anything, it's just moving.
That's certainly a bit of a issue that I don't think either of us expected.
What in the world? Moving forward and backward, and it's actually going side to side.
Do you have like a time parameter going into the shader that's causing everything to be drawn with an offset?
Yes, but I just set it to 0. So actually, I don't think it's referenced anywhere anymore. I'm trying to move away from that, and it's still not behaving.
So that's interesting. I've got like a reverse flashlight in that the closer I am to something, the darker it is.
Oh,
That's, I mean,
that's
it's
different.
cool. It's not at all what I was trying to do. I'll post a screenshot in the voice
Yeah.
text, which probably indicates that I have like a minus sign somewhere where it shouldn't be, or
Yeah,
that I don't
the
have a minus
normals are
sign where it
probably
should be, or
flipped.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the normals are flipped. Or the direction to the light is flipped somehow. Yeah, this kind of is a problem. Can't figure out why the camera's not working.
On the one hand, Xor the GameMaker shader patriarch or whatever. On the other hand, why is my camera moving on its own?
I mean, this does happen some of the time. Like, sometimes the jams go well. Like that, the space tunnel 1 hour thing was actually pretty decent, but this one I'm at an hour and I just have a bunch of random colors. So,
Hmm.
that's the truth.
Right now, we are one third of the way through, and I'm feeling like I probably should have eaten something before I sat down to do this. Oh well. Who needs food?
Who's for the week? Oh my gosh.
The light direction for a pointing light should just be the light's position in space minus the fragment's world space coordinate, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
And that would be from the light to the fragment, and that's
Yeah, I mean, it looks alright to me. The code anyway.
this might be a problem with, well, I think there's several problems here, but I was gonna say this might be a problem with me trying to scale the
Oh,
wall
okay.
objects.
Um,
I feel like that
yeah,
shouldn't be because like the homogeneous coordinate of 0 for the normal is supposed to make that not a thing you have to worry about.
so you are using the world space position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Um, yeah, try doing just the normal, not the world space normal.
not the world space normal.
Yeah. Because I think the world space, you're scaling the normals, um, and it's not normalized anymore. Theoretically, you probably
Oh,
there's
you know
some
what?
thing
Hang on.
to do it. I don't remember exactly how you're supposed to do it, but
Speaking of normalizing the world space normals, that is one thing I wasn't doing.
yeah, try normalizing it. You want to do it before, yeah, around that, yeah.
All right, that's at least one problem solved. But I still have the reverse flashlight, which is not what
Yeah.
one really wants. Life is full of mysteries. All right, thank you for reminding me of that.
Well, that looks better.
Yeah, now I guess I just need to make it attenuate now. How do you? I also need the
Um,
distance to the camera.
so what I like to do is take the length of the difference between the light position and the world space position, and then uh, you'll probably
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that
yeah.
in frame shader. Yeah, you'll want to calculate it in the frame shader.
Um,
And instead of normalizing that, I would just divide it by the variable. So you do that first. That's just the way I do it. You don't have to do it that way.
yeah,
But
this
then
would
you're
be
saving processing because normalize is just the vector divided by its length. If that makes sense. Yeah, divided by the radius, and then you probably
oh
want
wait, that needs
one
to be
minus
a
that.
W, not. Mm.
Yeah. But that's something that I like to do is get rid of the normalize by just dividing by the length. So it's the same thing.
I've got reverse flashlight again. Oh, that's probably because this needs to be like inverted.
Yeah, one minus is usually what I do.
That is how we do it.
I mean, technically, there are better ways to do it, more life accurate ones, but that's fine.
I've played with like better attenuation models, like doing it to like raise to the
Yeah, the
power instead of
inverse
just minus,
square.
but it's good enough.
Yeah, inverse square I think is like physically accurate, and it does look pretty good, but
Inverse square like pow this to 2.0 or something.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, I like to like for deferred renders, you can't do that because you need it to have a fixed range.
Oh really?
Otherwise, you're adding all of the lights across the entire screen, and that is pretty slow. So that's the one thing I don't like about it is it basically has an infinite range, and it's very bad for performance. I wouldn't say very bad, but it is somewhat bad. Okay, I figured out what I'm doing wrong.
I have yet to play around with deferred renderers. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It is fun. It takes a little bit to set up, but good. That's how it is with a lot of the 3D stuff. It's a little bit difficult to set up, but it's very powerful.
What if I
And then you,
just trying to combine the player light with like the world light is weird. What if I just only use the player light because I think that is more helpful anyway.
yeah, the other thing you could do is you could just define the light in view space. Um, yeah, you don't need to do that, but that would just make it easy so it's relative to the camera.
Guess that's one way to do it. That sounds like a like 50% of shadow mapping.
Yeah, sort of.
Alright, so I've now spent like 20 minutes trying to make light not suck. I should probably focus on something else in the game now.
Do you have like collisions in already?
Um, basic collisions.
Well, that's better than mine. So I'm still working on the camera, which is tripping out.
So, because I absolutely just love using the candy models for anything because I'm lazy, what if I just like stick a potted plant in random locations or something? There's still no gameplay, but it would look cool.
Yeah. Alright, we have a backwards camera. The forward is backward and backward is forward. But we have movement. So,
We'll count that as a victory.
yeah. Our first victory.
That doesn't look like a tree. Also, the game just crashed.
No fun.
Okay, we have tree. It's actually a little bigger than I thought it would be. But we'll roll with it.
Yeah, nice. Alright, I need to figure out collisions. Or I will have a big problem. Kind of wish that there was a sprite get pixel function.
The way that we have like tile map get pixel and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, circular collisions do not really work on the tree. I will just give it a normal square collision. I find this acceptable. I still need to figure out what gameplay this is going to involve, though.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that like designs games that way.
Making stuff render is way more fun anyway.
Yeah, right. That's one thing as a lot of GameMaker users seem to work that way, where it's kind of just like more fun to make systems than actual games.
Yeah. There's I realize that this tree is so huge that like I can possibly use it as like a guidepost from halfway across the map and then give the player something to walk towards. There's like
Oh,
half the people who make games like have a game idea and they don't really enjoy doing the technical stuff, and then the other half of people just don't really like making games, but they really like making renderers.
yeah. Obviously, I fall in that category. I mean, that's part of why I don't like something like Unity as much as. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff if you want to, and maybe it is more efficient. But
Because
when
it already
I,
does all the fun parts for you.
yeah, that's the stuff that I really like. Like maybe I should be making my own engine or something, but um, I don't know.
Famous
I'm
last
used
words.
to it. Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm familiar with it, and I like it. So that's how
Let's
it is.
see. I suppose I can add like a dozen different trees and just have each and every one of these tree objects just like pick a random one. That's something I won't come to regret doing in 5 minutes, right?
Hmm.
These trees that are named small tree are still pretty big. Or that's probably because I'm scaling it up 2 times. That would explain it.
right. I have devised a very questionable collision system. We'll see if it works.
Those are the best kinds of collision systems.
Yeah. So basically, it draws the map sprite to a surface, and then it checks each pixel on that surface in the direction that it's moving to see if there's something required. And it doesn't do anything.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Well, we now have trees. This actually looks almost like a world now. I don't know if it's actually any better than it was a half hour ago, but on the bright side, trees.
An hour and 20 minutes in.
An hour and 20 minutes.
No sign of anything working.
To make the excuse for not having a directional light, I'm going to just say that this is nighttime and I'm going to try and make a moon, but it turns out that just a sphere hanging in the air looks really bad. And I don't really feel like drawing a better moon. I have a texture map for like the surface of the actual moon somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Should I just like skip this idea? Probably.
I really do not like how mod handles negative numbers. Because in shaders you have mod, which it will always return a positive value.
Mm-hmm.
But in GameMaker, it's a little bit different. It'll be negative, and it doesn't make sense to me.
I guess there are two approaches to doing modular division, and I can't like decide which one feels less weird.
Yeah. I mean, they both are weird, but I've never had a use for the other kind. And so I always just make my own function and then just do it the right way.
What do you do? Like take the absolute value of the number that you're trying to mod by and multiply it by the sign or something so that it ends up being negative, or something like
I
that.
do something like that. See, I use floor. I just posted it in the comment of your video.
Oh, in
Return.
the YouTube chat.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do the division, and then I floor it, and then I multiply it again, and then subtract it from the original number, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess
And that
that's basically a modular division.
yeah, that's how it works in GLS, though, anyway. And so that's just what I'm more familiar with, and I don't think I've ever really had a use for it the classic signed wave way. There's another way that you can do it by just the adding whatever you're dividing by, and that will keep it in the positive range until you go below a certain amount, and then it doesn't work. So for like
So
if you're set,
it like prolongs the inevitable.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're cycling through items, there's something I like to do. I'll write a snippet of code.
Mm-hmm.
Num. So yeah, if you're cycling through a piece of like a inventory, for example, like a hot bar or something, and you have a certain number of items and a certain number of slots, what I always like to do is I add the divisor before I do the modulo, and then that way I know that it's in the original range. And so if you do that every step, eventually it's going to be a positive number.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're only incrementing your sorry.
I do something similar for like menu options that you can scroll through. Let me find the code
Yeah,
that I use for
exactly.
that.
Just turn the fan on. Is that too loud?
I cannot hear a fan, so I'm guessing it's
Okay.
okay. Is it this one?
Yeah, I need to get like a proper microphone and stuff. I'm using my phone right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't really have a good setup for streaming or anything like that.
Yeah, I do stuff like this all the time for menu navigation.
Yeah. For the longest time, I didn't really have a use for a microphone or anything. I didn't do any narrated videos or call anybody. But
Mm-hmm.
I've gradually been doing that more and more, doing like business calls and things. And so I probably should just break down and get a proper microphone and stuff. I do have one microphone, but there's no stand for it, and it's just kind of off to the
You could
side.
like
It
tape
doesn't
it to a book
work.
or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe if I just bought like some kind of a folder or something, then I could use it still. But it's not as good of quality as I was hoping for, so I might just get a new microphone again.
In the very old days of me doing YouTube, I didn't have a microphone at all, so what I would do is I would like take a video camera and just point it at the wall and leave it running while I was trying to narrate something, and then I would just grab the audio from the video.
Yeah.
I miss being 15 and stupid. No, I don't.
Yeah, you've been on YouTube for a long time, haven't you?
Somehow.
Making like GameMaker tutorials and stuff.
Could I have been doing something else with my life in that time? Probably.
What's the fun in that?
Mm-hmm. I'm still just adding random stuff to this game and trying to figure out what makes sense to have in this game, and I still don't know.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was at that point right now. I'm just I kind of hit a roadblock, and when that happens in a 3-hour game jam, that's not good.
I guess I could make just like find the three MacGuffins and bring them to the shrine at the end or something.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds fun.
What's a fun MacGuffin-y type of object?
I have no clue. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to see this.
What did you do this time?
I posted it in the Discord. It's loading.
It's perfect.
Why do I actually kind of like that? Like, that's kind of beautiful in a way.
My brain is trying to figure out what to make of that. I don't think my brain is ready for this.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of cool the patterns that it makes.
It is. Is that algorithmically generated?
Yeah. Um, I can give you the code if you want. There. So basically, the cell is the voxel position. So I'm just getting the voxel x times the y times the z.
So that's
And
basically like a random noise function.
yeah, kind of. It's not a very good one, but yeah, it works.
You would usually, when you're doing random noise, you would like dot it against a vector that's like some composed of some random number and do a little bit more to mess it up, right?
Yeah, you'd want to multiply it by some crazy coefficient, but you probably don't want to just multiply the x, y, and z like that because that works for small numbers, but as soon as you start getting to bigger numbers, it really quickly loses precision.
Mm-hmm. Well, if
Um,
you're doing random noise, isn't that sort of not something you usually mind?
no, you do because if you're dealing with, let's say, a bunch of numbers that are 10 to the 4 power or something like that. Well, you're multiplying a bunch of those together, you'll have like a 10 to the 12 power number. And with floating points, you're going to lose all the lower significant digits. It's all going to be like higher bits or whatever. And so even if you use fract or whatever to bring it back down, it's going to still be low quality, and that's how you get like
Hmm.
really obvious repeating patterns and stuff. A lot of
Okay.
noise functions have that, so generally you kind of want to like, depending on what the scale is, you want to kind of keep it in a certain range.
Is
And if you
floats give you
multiply,
about
so
7 significant digits of precision, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like it starts to you
yeah.
start to lose
So
ones around like
basically,
16 million, 2 to the 24.
yeah, basically every noise function has a range where it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
So some noise functions you'll want to use on like UV coordinates because it's in the range of 0 and 1, and that produces the best results. But then there are also other ones that work better for integers. Um, so like 0 to 2000 or something, like a pixel coordinate on the screen. So there's kind of a weird science to it. And when I first started playing with hash functions, I had no idea what any of that was. I was like, why are these functions not working? They're creating obvious repeating patterns. Well, it was because I was using one for UV coordinates, uh, pixel position, or something like that.
I know
And
that
so,
different RNGs have like different periods over which they'll repeat, and some of the better ones
yeah,
like will
yeah,
generate 4 billion
yeah,
random
exactly.
integers without repeating or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's it. All right. Why are the collisions not working? This is getting to the danger zone where if I don't figure it out soon, that's
We're
we're not gonna
approximately
have
halfway
it.
through. Someone is asking me for GameMaker help in the comments. I should probably answer this. So right now my brain is in full like 3D rendering mode, and I don't understand gameplay logic, which is why I've just been throwing random stuff at the screen for the last hour.
Yeah.
When you create an inventory with an object slot, when you draw it out, the FPS is very low. Are you drawing like 3D objects in the inventory? Are you drawing a lot of 3D objects? That would do it. I was looking for like some random 3D model that I could just say collect three of these or something, wasn't I?
Um. I think so.
I guess the other thing I can do.
Now I'm kind of thinking I need to go with this weird psychedelic color style.
It's not a bug,
I
it's a
mean, I'm already.
feature.
What's that?
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, right. I mean, like that's kind of liminal. It's kind of like almost 90s or something. That's cool. Oh,
Did you figure something
why
out?
is the map is not drawing to the? Oh, I know why. Fun.
What was it?
Um, I was creating a surface, but then not doing anything with it, and then
Oh,
the
I love it
part
when
where
that
it does,
happens.
yeah, the part where it does something with the surface, it checks if the surface exists. So it already existed, so it didn't do anything.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, simple problem, but I was dumb. So I wanted to make sure. Basically, I was going to set the surface in the draw event. I would make sure that it exists, and if it didn't exist, I'd fill it in with whatever data it needs. But
mm-hmm.
then I had a point that referenced it before that, so I needed it earlier, and yeah, then it kind of didn't work. Oh, I like that. You got the little ASCII guy.
Yeah, the shrug emoji. I have no shame. You're gonna collect three of these, and that's gonna be the game. Where's the extrude button?
No way! I have collisions. That did it. This is actually kind of cool because it's collisions based off of a sprite. Which now that I think about it, there probably are better ways to do that using like collision masks. But oh well, I've gone this far.
It's too late to turn back now.
Yeah.
All right. I think I have sufficiently embarrassed myself, and this is gonna go in the game.
Oh, nice. I don't see what's embarrassing about that. I think that's cool. That's just neat. All right, so the collisions are going to be a little bit weird, but I'm just going to not worry about it because time is short.
Understandable.
It's just around the corners. I mean, I haven't gotten like stuck inside of anything, so that's good. But around the corners, you get closer to the wall than you should. Okay, there I just passed through the wall a little bit, which is not supposed to happen, but too bad. I have to go with it.
It's ghost mode.
All right, now I'm gonna design a level.
Oops. Okay, wait. That's funny. I seem to have accidentally deleted a few faces on this object.
Uh-oh.
Gonna have to redo that real quick. Much better. I am going to say that I think I like having 3 hours for this better than 1 hour. Especially
Fair
because
enough.
I'm actually like goofing off with you on the call, which is a little bit distracting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure like last time I was not going this slowly, but it is what it is. I think it's worth it. I mean, if we had Snitter in here, um, like if he was doing the challenge, I think I would probably want to like take it more seriously. But you know, it's
I'm sure he would want to goof off also.
well, yeah, yeah true.
Okay, don't look at the stream right now because this is really dumb.
I don't know how to design mazes at all.
Are you just gonna go with like some procedurally generated?
No, it's too late for that.
It's too
I'm
late for
just like
that.
drawing. Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
drawing like
you're drawing the maze on the sprite.
yeah, drawing out a random maze, and then I think I'm gonna put like little items around that you have to collect to win or something.
You want this shrug face vertex buffer, or are you rendering those through the shader
I
also?
can't use vertex buffers,
That's not gonna
unfortunately.
work.
I want it, but I can't.
Next time you can use this.
Yeah,
Next time the
one of
theme
these
of the jam is
days.
just gonna be the like dumb Kimoji.
Yeah. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to do a jam where I'm not allowed to use shaders. But then I'd just be sad and I wouldn't do anything the whole time. But I honestly didn't use that many shaders when I did the Minecraft challenge. It was just kind of like a couple shaders for basic lighting, but there really wasn't much to it.
How do you remove a collision mask from an object in GameMaker?
Um, I don't know.
I assume you can.
I think you can set the image mask to like -1 or something.
Yeah, but like in the IDE, because I duplicated an object and that had a collision mask, and I want to get rid of it. There's
Like
gotta be a
on the
way to do
sprite
that.
or
Like in the um
oh my gosh, this is horrible.
I need to
Just like
see.
an insane color. Yeah, let me get a
Show it.
picture of it. I actually kind of like this. Like the maze is so hard because of these colors. You can't tell the depth of anything.
At least there's
Great.
shading.
I can't get out of here. I also made the tunnels really narrow, but I think I like it. I gotta like start accepting compromises because other okay.
There is an hour 15
I'll,
minutes left. Post it in the voice channel.
it's okay. 1 second. Posted. So this is what the tunnels look like.
Boy,
They're like super narrow, and you gotta go through. You can't tell how far away things are.
that is a challenge.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty legit.
All right, I guess I'll just set mask index equal to -1 for this thing because I just in the regular sprite selector and object properties in GameMaker you can select none, but I don't see an option to do that in the collision mask.
Hmm. All right, I got the normals for the different balls, so there's a lot I can do with that. I think I'm gonna start. I know I said I shouldn't work on the graphics, but I think I'm gonna work on the graphics a little bit. You know how it goes. Gotta get some fancy breasts in here. I mean, what's the point of all these shaders if it's just normal blocks?
What's the point of writing shaders if they're not completely insane?
Yeah, right. Oh crap, there's a bunch of artifacts everywhere. It's a bunch of little specks all over the texture. It's unfortunate. I don't have time to fix it.
I kind of feel like going back to the old 1 hour game jam projects that I've made and like cleaning them up and actually making them not look completely garbage, but I never have.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever want to go back to my old code. It's just, it's a mess.
I realize that I'm probably wasting a lot of performance by resetting the world matrix after drawing every single one of these, knowing that it's just gonna get set to something else immediately. I should probably not do that.
Well, do you have a decent computer?
Decent.
Then you just ignore all that stuff. That's how game jams work.
Yeah. The matrix sets don't really start to... What on earth is happening here? The matrix sets don't really start to add up until, like, hundreds or thousands of them, but still. I have an idea to make this shrug face even worse. I think I'm gonna do it. Gizmo, I have no idea what you mean by but when you say this is looking good. Now it's cycling colors properly. We have a game, sort of. Or we have a fetch quest anyway.
I don't know why, but I'm implementing a height map thing. So,
Oh, now you're just doing this jam on hard mode.
yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of other more important things I could be doing, but I don't know. That just seems fun.
Okay, so how do I build a game out of this? I guess the next like 20 minutes is just going to be me drawing a huge, big ol' maze to navigate.
Fair enough.
Capture the flag, don't let the enemies get you. Capture the, well, I guess you could call this a flag. 16-year-old me would have been proud and also disappointed.
I'm gonna have some well-deserved pizza after this.
That's gonna be your lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I just decided to make a little hole in the ground because, you know, if I have voxels, I may as well use the dimensions as well.
Right?
Dimension.
How many people ended
Uh,
up participating in the Minecraft Jam?
I think we got like 25 entries or
That's
something.
not bad.
So, yeah, it was decent. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that for it being pretty last minute.
Didn't at some point Yo-Yo Games like tweeted about it or something?
Yeah, yeah, they actually offered the ultimate license for it.
Oh, that's right, they did.
So two people won it, which is really cool.
Nice.
I like seeing them like support 3D challenges and stuff like that because
Mm-hmm.
that's not really something that I've seen them do before.
Yeah. It's usually something that most people just pretend isn't part of the engine.
Right.
They're the smart ones.
Yeah. Yeah, we got stairs.
You got
Camera
stairs.
actually yeah, the camera actually goes up and down for it.
Fancy.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all I got going for me. So I may as well go stairs in here.
Count the small victories.
I'll have to post a picture in a minute.
I've got an hour left. Should I like do NPCs or something that you can click on and give you stupid advice or something? I kind of want to.
Yes. Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to finish it, but you should definitely try.
That would honestly probably be more fun to implement than just like drawing random maze designs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is slightly less mazy than I expected it to be, but I guess that's fine.
If I had more than 3 hours, I would probably try to like procedurally generate a dungeon. But I have a feeling that is
Yeah.
not really the thing that I should be doing right now if I wanted to finish.
Yeah, it definitely sounds fun, but yeah. Because I thought about doing that as well as doing
Procedural.
procedural stuff, and I was even thinking about like how I could generate it in the shader, of course. Um, but
Of
then I was
course.
thinking about the collisions. How would the collisions work? Um, there's a few different issues that came up that I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to try taking it. Like, yeah, you could generate a maze pretty easily, but to generate one that's actually navigatable is
Mm-hmm.
pretty hard. Like, it's hard to make sure that you can go from one point to another, you know, and not just have like a completely closed off area.
It wouldn't be difficult programmatically to like use an MP grid or something to like try to get to like pick a random start point and a destination and try to navigate to it. And if you find a path and it's valid, but that would probably be rather computationally expensive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it probably would be, and I just don't use the NP grid functions.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, I
As
mean,
far as
maybe,
built-in systems to GameMaker go, I really do like the NP grids.
yeah, I should probably try them. I'm sure they're useful, but that's just nothing that I really dealt with before, and I didn't want to try picking that up for this.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I bet that could work.
I know it would produce the correct answer, but I don't know if it would really be something you want to do in real time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dang it! I gotta do some shadows.
Oh, now you're just throwing shadows into the mix.
Yeah, like, is it? If I have a game that like has gameplay versus a game that looks kind of cool and is like hard to do, I gotta pick the hard to do thing. Um, am I really me if I don't do ray tracing and like shadows and stuff?
If it's not difficult enough, it's probably not going to be any fun anyway.
Yeah, that's all right. So this will be the best I can do.
I have like 25% of this room grid filled in, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to make the rest of it interesting. Are you writing all
Oh,
your
I have a
shaders in
great.
GLSL still?
What's that?
Are you writing all your shaders in GLSL still?
Yeah, yeah. Well, for the three mice in a trench coat, everything was HLSL for that. Um, but yeah, most of my projects are GLSL.
Shader Toy is GLSL, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just like it because it's I don't know. I feel like it's slightly less abstract. Like HLSL has a lot of specific terms and things, and it just
Mm-hmm.
feels like
It
something
it
that
feels
takes
rather
longer.
Microsofty
Yeah, and I don't
in their
really want.
code conventions and the way that they name
Right.
functions and
It's
stuff.
probably closer to C plus plus or something. Like if you're familiar with that, you'd probably like it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't. I didn't really get into it because it's Windows only, and I didn't really want that as a limitation.
Mm-hmm. I like the way that HLSL is like designed because it's in GLSL you just sort of throw a color at GL frag color and that's the end of it, or frag
Yeah.
data if you're feeling ballsy. But in HLSL you actually have to define what the output is, which I think is nice. But on the other hand, it's like twice as much typing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I got used to it, I'd probably like it more because there's like you have multiple render targets. I like the structure of everything. There's lots of
Mm-hmm.
structures to define inputs and outputs, and it just feels more organized. But again, it's also more codey. And I kind of the thing I liked about GLSL is it felt like most of it was just like math functions. There's a lot of math functions and
Mm-hmm.
basic logic, and that's that. And HLSL has a lot more syntax related things that you have to get right. And, I'm not into that.
In some ways, the error messages for HLSL are more helpful than the errors for GLSL, which is nice. But a lot of the times you have to hunt for it in the console because it doesn't just like throw a message in the compile error box the way that the GLSL shader errors do. It'll spit it out in some random place, like at the top of the build information.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of found the error messages to be confusing because not super readable. But
Well, it's better than in GLSL where it points to the wrong line 90% of the time.
yeah, yeah, you can't really beat that.
I still do not know why that happens. I don't know if it's because of the extra stuff that GameMaker prepends to the shader code when it starts to to build your game, like the built-in yo-yo macros and stuff, but it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I also said something about like I was going to try and add like signposts to this maze to tell the player where to go, except that they would mostly be wrong.
Yeah, I like that idea though.
If this was a game that I was actually trying to make good, I would not do that, but since this is just a jam, I'm completely okay with just messing with the player.
Yeah, it'll only be like 3 people that'll play it probably.
Probably. And 2 of them are going to be like me and my sister.
Yeah. 16 and no 50. I like your maze. It looks pretty legit.
Thanks.
Something is not working. Not sure what.
There are 49 minutes left. I wonder, is that enough time for me to like throw in Juju's scribble as a text renderer so that I can just like have NPCs say goofy looking things and goofy looking like wobbly text and stuff?
I say go for it.
I like your
You'll
thinking.
probably have more. You'll have more of a thing than I will. So you win. I'm not sure why, but you kind of sink into the ground as soon as you start.
Not a good
That's fun.
sign.
Yeah.
It's not a bug. The floor is just made of quicksand.
All right. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the screen is just blank, and I don't know what I changed to make that happen.
That's cool.
That's normal. Oh, never mind. I accidentally turned on something's draw event that did not need a draw event, and it appeared to be erasing the camera.
All right. I'm confused again.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Trying to draw a bunch of point lights. They just are not drawing right. It's not even like a good bug. It's just kind of like,
It's just an annoying bug.
yeah, you just can't really tell what's going on. I'm totally cool with some cool, weird bugs, but it's got to be cool.
They have to at least be funny.
Yeah. Oh, now we're on to something. Okay, this kind of hurts my brain. Alright, like that.
Oh boy. That guy is a little bit tall. Here's a funny bug for you.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Not all of these objects are the same size, and I think maybe I should have a normal size guy.
All right, we got shadows.
We got shadows.
Do we need them? Well, it's too late now to change our
Whether
mind.
we need them is not a relevant part of the question.
Yeah, really.
You got a screenshot?
Yeah, I just
we got
put it in
shadows.
Discord.
Nice.
Infinite point lights.
Ooh, this guy has
That's
a peg
one
leg.
thing-
I like that.
Yeah, one thing I really like about when you set up your own rendering thing is that you have complete control over everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can do shadows and lights and whatever you want to do because it's all there.
Does image X scale, image Y scale affect collision mask size?
Yes, I believe so.
Hmm. There's about a half hour left. Have you given up on gameplay, or are you just gonna make a tech demo?
I don't really know what to do at this point. I mean, I could probably I could probably have a couple collectibles or something hidden, but that's not really fun.
I mean, that's basically what this is.
Yeah.
With just the most stupid collectibles imaginable.
I don't know. We gotta get the shadows working properly though for a good demo.
Gotta get the important parts squared away first.
Yeah, right.
There is a half hour left.
Ah, sweet. I currently have a black screen.
Oh dear. Alright, I have sort of an NPC who will turn to face you when you click on him.
Ah, I like it.
Fancy.
Ah, nice. Turns rather sharply.
He's easily startled.
Hmm. So Well, how are things going? Final stretch.
Not terribly.
All right.
Not as on fire as your average game jam, at least for me.
Fair enough.
Someone is using a vacuum cleaner right outside my door. I don't know if that's audible.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Alright, I've got NPCs and they can say things.
Yeah, good. Kind of wanted the lights to be like visible rather than just glowing spots that you can't see.
Like an actual light source in the world.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like that. But things are not going in my favor.
Maybe for the next, maybe for the 4 hour game jam.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like lighting. It just it seemed like something that had to be done. Right when I thought I was like onto something, it messes up.
I don't even know what this game is anymore, but out of lack of better things to give these NPCs to say, I'm just gonna have them all singing like random sea shanties.
Epic.
I've officially given up on this.
All right, you know what? Forget the multiple lights thing. I'm just gonna have one light source. This is just not working.
Not worth 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, I had like a bunch of lights distributed everywhere, but um, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but they kept like intersecting with each other, and it just didn't look good.
Hmm.
So that
I'll have to see what you mean, like in 25
yeah,
minutes after this is done.
yeah. I think I'll just like share the project in case anybody happens to want to look at my horrible code. Okay, there we go. Finally, something.
You got it working.
Uh, Not what I originally intended, but I got something working, which is good enough for me. Yeah, so unfortunately, there's not going to be any gameplay.
Not all games can have gameplay.
Right, that's really just too much to ask for, I think. You know, in this generation, in this age, we don't. What's gameplay for? You know, it's more about the graphics. I have an idea that would make it a little bit more fun now.
Oh boy.
Might be a bit late for that, but what if it just follows the camera? So it's just a light above you that casts shadows. So that would be more fun.
Oh boy.
Okay, this actually looks pretty cool. It's not working, but cool.
That's one of those fun, like, sort of cheating, but not really tricks that you can do to make a game just function.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just gives it a little bit more depth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go.
I may have, like, a functional game loop now.
That's impressive.
Let's see if it's actually completable.
Oh my gosh. Just realized like how awful the graphics are.
Uh-oh.
Just reminded me, like, well, just talking about like the colors and stuff. Like,
That was the whole objective.
yeah, after a while, like you kind of just get used to it. You get blinded to the horrors that are here, but
You get used to the, yeah.
it's bad, man. It's what was I thinking?
I am completely lost in my own maze.
That's a good sign.
I guess that means I follow the theme properly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how do I beat my own game? Is the question. Is it cheating if I look for like where all the items are in the room editor?
Um, I don't think so. All right, this is actually kind of cool, like in a horrible way.
In a horrible way.
Yeah, I just made it so the entire world like tiles and stuff, so you can get lost in an infinite loop, which is neat.
You mean like it wraps around?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Why? All right, let's see if I can add some collectibles in 10 minutes. Wait, how would that work?
Okay, I have 10 minutes just to make sure that, like, this game is completable.
Hmm.
So, when's the next 3D jam gonna be?
I think we're gonna have to try. Well, maybe we'll do like 4 hours. I don't know. But yeah,
I
I don't
kind of
know.
like the
Maybe
idea of making each one an hour longer.
yeah.
That might stop
Eventually,
being
we'll get to
interesting after like
24 hours.
12, but
I I, I don't want to do a 24-hour jam again for a while though.
hmm
that was brutal because I stayed up all night and yeah.
I did a global game jam once, and I got like 5 hours of sleep over the whole 3 days.
Oh
That was
my
fun.
god,
Then I had to
that doesn't
drive
sound
home
like. Oh, nice.
because it was at a physical location. Where is the last thing? Help. Oh, that's there. Okay. Oh, this whole thing is ridiculous. Well, that's a game. I guess I'll spend the rest of the 8 minutes just like making not all the trees look the same or something.
All right. If I manage to add gameplay in like freaking 5 minutes, I'm gonna be really impressed with myself.
2 hours, 55 minutes technical direction, 5 minutes working on gameplay.
Yeah. Okay. We not a good sign. Not a good sign at all.
Sounds like we're not off to a good start here.
I'm just like giving variable names at this point.
The name of the pirate objects that I've got here are just named like obj underscore yar.
Okay, this is promising.
You have a screenshot, or I guess you're probably a little busy for that right
No,
now.
I can't. I can't. Not yet. So I'm trying to just hide around. Oh shoot! Trying to hide around some like collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Let's. Why is this not working? Oh, I did bitwise the wrong way.
And you just find out at the last possible second.
It's still not fixing it though.
Oh.
Dang it. All right. Well, I guess I guess there will be no gameplay.
Is that a surrender?
Yeah.
I have 2 minutes officially, and
Still messing around. It's probably not much point. My way of finding the score is like, or my way of adding up the counter is like really dumb.
for score, did you say?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna save it and export it.
I'm just gonna go like 30 seconds over and do one more thing.
Oh man, that was fun.
Actually, never mind. I won. All right, I'm just gonna make a build, pray that it doesn't break the instant someone tries to play it, and that'll be that.
Oh, actually, might be.
You fixed it at the last second.
I think I might have. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Well, technically, it's winnable.
Technically, it's winnable. Hey,
Yeah.
you did gameplay in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm just gonna have a quick message that pops up that says you win.
All right, let me play this from the executable. Let's see if this is actually like doable. The collision for some of the objects is in completely the wrong place, but it's not game breaking. Oh my god, this isn't winnable. There is a tree that just spawned in just the right place so that you can't get to the last one.
Oh no.
I'm allowed to just go in and fix that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna go in and fix that.
I just made it one small tweak to mine because you can win. I for test purposes, I had all the collectibles like right in the open,
Mm-hmm.
and so I decided to make it so that there's a few. The collectibles are hidden and they're harder to
They're harder to find.
Yeah. I don't know why I just got 2 points there. That's okay. All right, yeah, I uploaded it and I just put it in the Discord.
You just put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
Alright, let me, You know what I should probably do is... I should probably, like, make one more change.
There's
player...
one
I
kind
started...
of horrible issue.
What did you say?
There's one kind of horrible issue with my game where you can't look down, but the problem is you need to walk on these tiny little blocks to get the points, so you can't even see where they're at.
It's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, you know. What can you expect though? Like,
my second issue is that I had mouse lock. I had like the player locked by default, so I could easily test it and not have like the game going haywire while GameMaker was in like the foreground and whatever. But I should probably turn that off before I give it to anyone to play it because that would be confusing.
yeah. Okay, now I can't get more than 2 points. What the heck? It's not working, man.
That is the screenshot, and this, if I can find it, is the game. That was fun. I guess let's No, Google. I do not want you to block 3 Hour Maze. I want to. Can I ask it to allow
So
this?
the goal is to walk on the white cubes, the white little blocks on the ground that you can't really see, and they're tiny, and they're very rare. And once you collect 10 of them, you win.
I see you can't look down, and wow, you really do have the shadows here. I need to find, what did you say?
You need to walk on the little white blocks.
On the little white blocks. Okay.
Yeah. There's a couple of white blocks here and there. Oh my gosh, the video compression is just horrible.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, so there's one. See the window caption changes?
The window. Oh, that's my score. Okay. I wasn't,
Yeah.
wasn't even looking at that.
Yeah, when I'm in a pinch and I can't draw text, I just throw it up there.
You can't even draw text on the GUI layer when you're doing this?
I could have. I was just like panicking.
Boy, I can see even in the little stream preview that the video compression is having a really bad time with this.
I know the video is just like freezing.
I like this wall in particular though. It would make me dizzy if I looked at it for too long, but
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with the shadows.
so I found a little exploit, which is that I can just walk over the same one over and over again.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. How does that work?
Oh, and if I stand exactly on it, the score just keeps going up too.
Seriously? Okay, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Because I thought about that, and I tried to make it not do that.
I have 800 points right now. And counting.
Oh, nice. So you got the win message, right?
Yeah, it popped up when it hit, I think, 9 or 8 or something. Anyway.
All right. Well, I guess that's how you win. It's good to know that it's winnable.
That's cheat mode.
'Cause when I played it, I walked past it one time, and then I couldn't get any points going over it again, which is how it's supposed to work.
It was hard to line up exactly on the little square because you can't look down, but
Yeah. So
I just sort of threw the player at it enough times, and eventually I landed.
All right. Well, that's not supposed to happen, but all right.
We've got to next time we've got to make sure Snitter can join us for the shenanigans.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining anyway. That was pretty fun.
I have not really been engaging with the YouTube chat, but thank you for everyone who sat through this madness. All right, I guess I'm going to end the stream now. Xor, I assume you want to go eat your pizza. I should probably go eat something too.
Yeah, right.
All right,
Yeah, thanks for playing with me and doing that. That was pretty random and fun. See you around
I guess
sometime.
I'll like drop the game in Xor's Discord or probably put it somewhere else so people can find it later. Anyway, goodbye.
All right, bye.